Philippine national hero, Jose Rizal, was not only a great intellectual mind of many fields, which played a substantial role in the process of developing the Philippine identity. He was also communicative, charming, a man which liked too many friends. In this context, the women's sex was not excluded. In the literature about him, it was told that he had in his short life closer contacts to more than 10 women. One of them is Josephine Bracken. We'll briefly touch Rizal's love relationship with Bracken deeper. Josephine Bracken, adopted by her godfather, the American pump engineer George Toffer. Toffer gets very dependent from Josephine because he falls in with mutual cataract. He is threatened by the total loss of sight. A clinic stay in Japan does not bring any recovery. Nevertheless, they still remind on Jose Rizal, which has been a successful ophthalmologist in Hong Kong some years ago. The 63-year-old Mr. Toffer, meanwhile widowed again, and his 18-year-old foster daughter decides to visit Rizal for an ocular medical consultation in the Philippines.
Pepe, may mga panauhin ka na nais makipag-usap sa'yo.
Sige, papasukin mo.
Ito na sila.
Good afternoon. I am George Toffer, and this is my daughter Josephine Bracken, and we're from Hong Kong.
Pleased to meet you, sir. This is my older sister, Narcisa. Please have a seat. Now, how may I help you, sir?
Years ago, I have problem with my eyes because of cataract. I consulted several doctors, but it only get worse. A friend living in Hong Kong, Julio Lorente, said that you're an eye specialist and had practiced in Hong Kong.
Rizal operates Mr. Toffer on the eyes, but the operation improves his powers of vision only minimally. On the other hand, knowing Rizal lives now for already 4 years relatively lonely, he is captivated by the appearance of Josephine. Before him stands a slim, merry teenager with curly chestnut-colored hair and dreamy blue eyes. The two fall in love passionately. Days passed. George Toffer noticed his daughter growing feelings for his renowned ophthalmologist, one thing Mr. Toffer did not approve.
I've noticed that you and my doctor are getting close with each other. Is there any attraction between the two of you? Are you having an affair with him?
I don't know, Dad, but I can't explain these feelings. All I see is him being a gentleman, his kindness and his intelligence.
Mr. Toffer is horrified and in despair. Is he not dependent on the assistance of Josephine? Was she not for him, the nearly blind man seeing eye? He thinks of suicide and wants to cut his life. Only with effort, Rizal managed to stop Mr. Toffer.
No! What happened, Dad? Where did you even plan to cut your life?
Let's go back to Hong Kong.
To prevent another tragedy, Josephine still returns with her foster father to Manila with destination Hong Kong in March 1894. Rizal does not know if Josephine returns. He hands over the following short poem in English translation to Josephine. Josephine, who to these shores came, searching for a home, a nest, like the wandering swallows, if your fate guides you to Shanghai, China, or Japan, forget not that on these shores a heart beats for you.
When will you be back? I don't know.
I'll wait for you. I surely miss you. You take care of yourself, okay? By the way, my sister Narcisa will accompany you. And please take this letter to my mom.
Magandang araw aking ina.
Magandang araw rin. Anong dahilan sa parito?
Nandito ako para bisitahin kayo ng aking mga kapatid ina.
At sino naman itong magandang bilang na kasama mo?
Siya nga pala si Josephine Bracken, ang kasintahan ni Pepe.
Ma'am, pleased to meet you. Tumain ka na po. Jose asked me to hand this letter to you.
Mr. Toffer calms down again and returns to Hong Kong. Josephine remains in Manila some months. She can take lodgings with the Rizal family in Manila. After Rizal had written the following recommendation letter to his mother. 14th March 1985. My dear mother, the bearer of this letter is Miss Josephine Toffer, whom I was on the point of marrying, counting on your consent, of course. Our relations were broken on her suggestion on account of the numerous difficulties on the way. She is almost alone in the world. She has only very distant relatives. As I am interested in her, and it is very possible that she may later decide to join me, and as she may be left all alone and abandoned, I beg you to give her hospitality there, treating her as a daughter, until she shall have an opportunity or occasion to come here. Treat Miss Josephine as a person whom I esteem and value much, and whom I would not like to be unprotected and abandoned. Your most affectionate son who loves you, Jose Rizal. Rizal's member of the family was having doubts on Josephine. Could Josephine not be also a spy of the Spanish colonial rulers or the Catholic clergy? Didn't he make already experience with a spy in the past? And was the second escort from Mr. Toffer not lined unofficially with a cannon from Manila?
Mga anak, humihingi ng paintulot si Pepe upang ikasal kay Josephine.
Ngunit ina, ako'y nababahala sapagkat isa siyang dayuhan.
Baka naman siya ay isang espiya na ipinadala ng Espanya.
Labis akong nag-aalala. Maaaring palagay sa kapahamakan si Pepe. Ano ang maaari nating gawin?
Then, at the beginning of July 1895, Josephine is again with her sweetheart. Just when Josephine returned to the Pitan, they immediately went to church to arrange the wedding they have planned, and of course, ask for the blessing of the Catholic Church. But the sky over the nest of the both becomes cloudy by several circumstances. When Rizal voiced his desire to marry Bracken to the parish priest, he was told that the only way their union would be fulfilled was if Rizal would retract. The couple still lived together happily in love. Father Pedro Obac, parish priest of the Pitan, refused to oblige unless the couple were permitted by the Bishop of Cebu, because no priest was willing to marry the two. Rizal decided and Bracken agreed, though the church did not, to take Bracken as his wife. She was now big with child, his child, and he experienced a thrill of joy at being a prospective father. To her, Rizal in his very person offered security more than absolute than any she had ever thought of except in fantasy. Unfortunately, he played a prank on her, frightening her so that she prematurely gave birth to an 8-month-old baby, who lived only for 3 hours. To assert that the intimate connection that blossomed between the national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal, and Josephine Bracken was controversial, is very accurate in a symbolic and literal sense. This lost son of Rizal was named Francisco, in honor of Don Francisco, the hero's father, and was buried in the Pitan. The retraction is for the princes of the church a great success. However, there are also church critical historians who deny the existence of a cancellation because it would not have fitted to Rizal's character. They point out that the retraction was formulated in a very difficult and exceptional situation, and that even Rizal's last poem, My Last Farewell, implicate a church-critical statement. I'll go where there are no slaves, tyrants, or hangmen, where faith does not kill and where God alone does reign. Farewell, parents, brothers, beloved by me, friends of my childhood and the home distressed. Give thanks that now I rest from the wearisome day. Farewell, sweet stranger, my friend, who brightened my way. Farewell to all I love, to die is to rest. With the formulation, sweet strangers, my friend, who brightened my way, Rizal appreciates Josephine Bracken according to the annalist. The both get married after the Catholic rite on the December 30, 1986, at 5 o'clock in the early morning, 2 hours before Rizal gets executed. A certificate of marriage is not handed over to Josephine. In the moment of parting, Rizal should weeps on the shoulder of Frater Balaguer, while Josephine exclaims in the door of the prison chapel, "Wretched! Sadist!" and execution by heart shot is refused because Rizal is considered a traitor. He is shot by the back.
At pagmamalasakit sa bayang ito.
Abunde!